Okay. Well, happy day, everybody. 3, 2, 1. So, there is another quiz on Schoology. This time it is due for a grade. So get it done. It's due by Friday. It's 3 questions, and work on it together. Do it well. Figure it out. Okay? Shouldn't be too tough to do. So again, it's due by Friday. I'll remind you each and every day. Pretty sure you all know how to get on Schoology. I haven't had anyone come up and do it. If you don't know, it's good for you. All right, let's talk about the homework. So let me reduce this one down. See how we did. Page 3 and 4. All right. So, you guys go. A couple of you are off task. Pretty disappointed that quite a few of you did not even attempt the homework, and that's, I'm not quite sure. I mean, you fail the class, you repeat it next year. It's easy. Yeah. You don't want to pass algebra, I just get you out now. I don't care. All right. So problem number 1. Let me run through these real quick. It looks like 24x to the 10th. And then number 2 is 3x to the 6th minus 18x to the 4th minus 21x squared. Number 3 looks like 10x to the 7th minus 5x to the 5th plus 20x to the 4th. Any of those that you had trouble with? Yeah? Yeah. No, the first 3 you're okay on them?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. So let me bring up this. All right. So we're just multiplying these together. So I'm going to get 8x squared plus 6x minus 20x minus 15. Like terms? That sounds like a good old sneeze. Minus 14x minus 15. There it is. Okay, 5 and 6 are both done the exact same way. Okay, 6 is actually, if you multiply 6 together, it becomes x squared minus y squared. The plus xy and the minus xy will cancel each other out. Any questions from 7, 8, or 9? 7, 8, or 9. Take a look. Yeah.
Well, on this one, did you distribute that to everything on the second?
That one there, as well as there, and then this one here, as well as there. Okay. Okay. 7, 8, or 9. Any of those you want to see? Can I clear this one? 7, 8, or 9. Any? All right. Let's do number 10. So I would combine those together first. That's going to give me 6x squared and then x plus 2. Distribute here and here, so I get 6x to the 3rd plus 12x squared. Done. Number 11, we have x plus 3, 2x minus 1 plus 2x, x minus 1. So let's multiply this whole thing out first. So that's going to give me 2x squared minus x plus 6x minus 3, and then distribute here, plus 2x squared minus 2x. Combine like terms, so this and this are like terms, so I get 4x squared. Combine that and that, as well as that. So that's going to give me 5x minus 2 is plus 3x, and then minus 3. Okay. Problem number 12. Clear this. Problem number 12, I have x minus 3 quantity squared minus 8. What is x minus 3 quantity squared? How can I rewrite that not having the quantity squared? Yes, write it twice. So multiply this whole thing out. So I'm going to get x squared minus 3x plus 9 minus 8. Combine any like terms. Done. Okay. Let's see. Number 13, the answer is going to be x squared minus 49. The plus 7x and the minus 7x will cancel out. Number 14, it's x minus 7 quantity squared, so you'll multiply out x minus 7, that'll give you x squared minus 14x plus 49. Number 15, same idea as number 14. You'll write x plus 7 twice, multiply it out, so you'll get x squared plus 14x plus 49. Number 16, the answer will come out to 4x squared minus 9. The plus 6x and the minus 6x should cancel each other out. Number 17, your answer will be x to the 4th minus 4. The minus 2x squared and the plus 2x squared will cancel each other out. Number 18 is going to be rewritten as 2x minus 5 and 2x minus 5. Multiply them together. So you'd get 4x squared minus 20x plus 25. Number 19 is going to multiply out to 36 minus y squared. Number 20 becomes 4a squared minus b squared. Number 21 is 4x squared minus 9y squared. Any other questions from 1 through 21 that you'd like to see? That's that front page. Yeah.
What was number 21 again?
21. 4x squared, God bless you, 4x squared minus 9y squared. The middle terms drop out because you have the alternating sign, same binomial. Any other questions from 1 through 21? Okay? Life is awesome. All right, problem number 22. You have a square, find the perimeter. Let's just clear that. So find the perimeter. So you have a square. It's a square, each side is the same. So if you want to find the perimeter, it's just going to be 4 times x plus 3. Or I could go x plus 3 plus x plus 3 plus x. So if I get this, my perimeter is going to be 4x plus 12. Find the area. The area of the square is side squared, so that'll be x plus 3 quantity squared, which is the same thing as x plus 3, x plus 3. So x squared plus 3x is 6x plus 9. So the area, the relationships to a polygon should be that. And then evaluate both when we know x is 5. So if x is 5, how big is each side going to be? If x is 5, how big is each side going to be? 8. So I have 8 by 8 by 8 by 8. So the perimeter of that is going to be 32. And then the area is going to be 64 because 8 times 8. Okay? One edge of a cube is represented by x plus 1. The volume of the cube is e to the 3rd. Write an algebraic expression for the cube. So a cube is a 3-dimensional box, right? I guess that's double terms. It's a box. It's a 3D box. Okay? So if you have a cube, it looks like this. And each of the sides is equal. So if each side is x plus 1, so if x plus 1 by x plus 1 by x plus 1, if I wanted to find the volume, they said the volume is the edge to the 3rd power, which is going to be x plus 1 to the 3rd, which is going to be the same thing as x plus 1 times x plus 1 times x plus 1. So if you multiply those together first, you're going to get x squared plus 2x plus 1. And then you multiply it by another x plus 1. That's going to give me x to the 3rd plus 2x squared plus x squared plus 2x plus 1. So I just multiplied here, here, and here, as well as the 1 did the same thing. So I get x to the 3rd plus 3x to the 3rd plus 3x plus 1. That's where volume would be. And if we knew that x is 3, then each side is 4. So you get 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 times 4. So the volume is going to be equal to 64 cubic units. Okay? And then, let's see, 24, 25, and 26. It looks like the first one I can just drop the parentheses, combine like terms. So x to the third, 8x to the third added together to give me 9x to the third, plus 7x squared, plus 4x, plus 6. 25, I need to distribute the negative to the parentheses on the right. So then I'd have 4y to the third by itself, minus 2y squared, plus 7y, plus 23, or minus 23, excuse me. And then 26, I need to distribute the negative over the second set of parentheses. I can drop the first and third set because they're just plus. So I'm going to get, combining like terms, 2x squared. Those cancel out. So 2x squared is the answer in 26. Woo! Holy schmoly. What do you think? Good? Let's talk about something that's not math related for a moment. What's propaganda? Yeah.
Isn't that like the influence of, oh man, I learned this. Basically, it was like they used it during like World War II. Basically, it was like posters of like the other side, like the Chinese or something like that, and they'll just like do something really racial or something like that. Saying like, this is the face of the enemy.
Sure.
Let's destroy it. Come join the war or something like that.
Sure. What else? Anyone else have propaganda to add to? Go ahead. There you go. So, yeah. So it's basically a way to take information to sway your opinion. We have an election that's coming up, right? And we have, you know, and I joke about, you know, to me, does it really matter to who is our president and who isn't? To me, I kind of just go through life every day, do the best I can. Has my life changed dramatically because 8 years we've had a Democrat in office. Prior to that, we had a Republican. Prior to that was a Democrat. My life changed all that much. So in my lifespan, I had a few presidents. I had Gerald Ford when I was just a little kid. No idea what Gerald Ford did, but hey, he was there. I had Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, the first George Bush, Clinton, second George Bush, Obama. So I've seen quite a few different presidents. And me growing up, I didn't see a whole lot of stuff changing in my life to how I grew up. And as an adult, I look at it and going, okay, what is really the truth? Is anybody that is running for office really telling the whole truth about what's going to go on? You know, Bernie Sanders says, well, I'm going to have everybody go to community college for free. Really? Okay. Sounds nice, but there's not enough community colleges in the United States to just say, bring your masses. So it's kind of a silly statement because the infrastructure isn't in place to do that at this point in time. Trump, I love Trump, don't get me wrong, and the reason I love him is because he's a tell it as it is kind of guy. A little worried about if he's in office because all of a sudden he start probably telling some foreign leaders we run like a show the apprentice going, you're fired, and so, but you know, any other Republicans gonna? Boy, I don't know. They're making fun of one guy who says he was born in Canada and is not eligible to run. And I'm like really we want? Yeah, it's like really We already went through that whole hoopla of stuff claiming we just want to see Obama's birth certificate. And then they showed it going, okay, now let's find something different. And then I remember that the Obama administration wanted to slander McCain, saying McCain wasn't born in the United States, which was true. He was born in Panama, which was a U.S. territory. And then people say, well, we'll make the rules work for us to. Okay. Sarah Palin.
I can see Russia from my front porch.
Okay. God bless her. I mean, she tries. She really tries. But
Like this is the good direction where she's going.
let's talk about propaganda that influences all of you. A lot of you have something that it's easy to believe. You're like, so why? Let me ask you this: Why does big industry such as computers, people who write software, want all schools to become charter schools? Any ideas? Yeah. Does anyone know why, though? So we have one first-handed. Huh? Yes. Why is that, though?
It's accessible more than teachers, so there won't be as many teachers as there actually should be. And some teachers, I'm not saying some teachers are getting to the point where it's computers, and they're just lazy. They don't want to teach the class face to face.
So the main thing on this whole computers and charter schools is the rules for charter schools are a different set of rules than for public schools. And a charter school ideally would say, let's put a computer in front of every kid, and we'll have little tutorials that'll come on that are written by our software companies, which these schools will have to pay for. It's a market that is unbelievable. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, they want to show that charter schools are so much better than public schools and create a false sense of public schools obviously aren't doing the job. Now, are there cruddy teachers? Yes. I'm not trying to hide behind saying, no, I'm in a profession that everyone's awesome. No. I've told a number of teachers in my career, dude, you suck as a teacher, you should get out. Okay? And then I've had administration going, you can't talk to people like that in your department. Why? The truth hurts, huh? No, I haven't had that here at this school, but I had it at Chaparral. I had it at Wooster High School in Reno. I had it at Las Vegas Academy. I had it at Buffalo Ridge in Las Vegas, where I was at summer school, taught summer school. I'm kind of an opinionated guy, which sometimes is bad. But sometimes I like to point out, boy, we could do this or could do that better. Now, someone said, hey, why do you always record your classes? My response back is, why don't you? Seriously. Like, YouTube isn't really run out of space. YouTube's not sitting there going, oh, shoot. Another teacher is now recording their lessons. I don't know. We have kittens playing the piano trying to be loaded at the same time as someone teaching algebra. YouTube's pretty fine with it. As soon as you get to a certain amount of views that have taken place on your videos, YouTube's going to have an advertisement show up at the beginning of the video. And then sometimes that advertisement you can skip after 4 seconds. But once that video has gotten to a certain amount of views after the 4-second skip, then you can't skip it. And that's just how the marketing works. You know, YouTube seems like a pretty neat thing, and you guys know as well as I, there's some fascinating videos to watch. And I love YouTube. I love it a lot because, boy, you can go look up all kinds of silly stuff. It's fun watching people slip and slide. It's fun watching people, you know, it's like America's Funniest Videos on steroids without a filter. That's okay with me. And then I like going back and watching, like, concert clips. And, you know, you go to a concert, you guys, I'm sure you've seen this. Perhaps you're just as guilty of this. You see more phones up like this recording. And it's like, dude, watch the concert. That's true. They're getting better though. I'm amazed at how loud a concert is these days, how well the quality on some of these recording devices actually comes out. Yeah.
I want to say that I recently went to a concert. It wasn't for a music video. It wasn't for a music concert. It was actually a podcast, and the name you guys know, like music talking about. But they said they had like live actors talking into a microphone, and one of the kids like had their phone on flash and took a picture, and it was like a cat. It was like a cat with a laser, except less cute. And I just he got kicked out for having his phone.
So I think you all know that my whole feeling on cell phones and movie theaters. That's justification that, for you to choke on popcorn. I mean, I'm sorry. If I go to a movie, I want to watch the movie. I don't want to realize that you are that important that this can't wait. Yeah.
There was a guy in like the front row of Star Wars when I went to see it, and he had his brightness like all the way up, and it was already like into the front credits where everything was going up, and somebody yelled at him and like had this large soda and just like threw it.
Nice. See, I think I should. It might have been me throwing a soda. That's why I go to the. That's why I go to the Alamo Theater, because you have your cell phone and use it, you're kicked out. No warning. See you, bye. You talk, kicked out. See you, bye. And I love it. It's over on Santa Fe and Mineral Production.
Is it a nice theater?
It is actually.
Because I like the ones where you can like press the button. It's like a.
Oh,
multi
Oh,
point.
like South
yeah. These are good seats. I like that. So let's get back on the reel of. Let's get back on the reel of propaganda. So, let me ask you all this. Who benefits if students do poorly?
The teachers?
They still get paid, right? Students.
No, who really benefits? Who really benefits? Let's say everybody at Cherry Creek High School fails. Who benefits? I'd say there's tutoring companies that benefit. I'd say there is software companies that benefit. So, who wants to see public schools fail? Private schools care less. They already pay their teachers pretty credibly anyhow. Private schools. Huh?
How much do they pay a teacher?
They pay a lot less. Like if I went over to Ballard, I'd make about half. What's that?
Why is it less than?
Because they have to collect their fees from the people.
They're not with like a district.
They're not the kids in those districts are paid through population. All right, so let's get some notes out. Let's play a little notes. My feeling is this, guys and girls. I teach. Why do I teach? Because I love it. Because you know what? Being a kid is sometimes tougher. Now, some people will sit there and say, "Well, why does that guy or girl get that? Or why is that person in this situation and not in that situation?" And that's like life. And I tell you, there's a lot of silliness in life. Now, I have, unfortunately, with friends that I've grown up with, I mean, I got some pretty good friends, and I got some friends that I'm kind of glad I don't live in the same state as them because, man, they're meatheads. They really are. I love them, but they're meatheads. Village idiot. They make some poor choices. Now, I do like Facebook, and I have a certain filter on Facebook because people will try and post on my wall, and I have to approve if it's on my wall or not because I really don't need some of the silliness to. Motivational post. Yeah. So that was fun. Whoa, hey, get back there. Come on.
Oh, right before you clicked on
I know, dude.
Easy.
Oh. My password and your password look the same. Dot, 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 dot. All right, let's get rid of that. Let's bring that up. All right, let's do some notes. Go to that side, please. Go to that side. Go to that side. Let's get a little critical thinking down. All right, so warming up. I've been shuffling these enough. See if we're shuffled. Of course, the first person on top is absent. Ben, help me out here. That times that, that times that, and that times that.
5. It would be 10x to the second.
Uh-huh.
Then 28x
What's the sign?
minus.
Minus?
And then plus 15.
Like it. There we go. What do you think? That's all right. Good job, Ben. Sophia, help me on the second one. Shh.
Negative 12x to the third.
Negative 12x to the third. Good. Plus 6x squared. I like it. Negative 3x. I love it. Okay. Kieran, you ready? What do you got? Yeah, good. Then?
Negative 4x to the
Third? Yep. Because you have x in first and x in second. And then?
negative
2x squared. Okay. And then? Is it negative or positive? Why is it positive? They're both negative. Negative 2 times negative 4. All right, so I get positive 8x. All right, not too bad. All right, we got a blinking icon up there. I'm sorry. Brenna, help me out on this next one.
Okay. That'd be 6, 8 to the third, b to the second.
Awesome.
9, 8 to the second, b to the second.
Awesome.
12, 8 to the second, b to the third.
Sweet. Not too bad. They're all descending order for the most part. They're all in standard form. So distributive power. Distributive power. Huh. So factor to write as a product of 2 or more terms. So we are putting these together by multiplication. Now we're going to start taking them apart. And sometimes they have a factor. Sometimes that factor could be a binomial. Sometimes the factor could be a trinomial. Sometimes it could be a monomial. We're just not sure. Our greatest common factor, we're going to focus on the coefficient first, and then we're going to look at each variable. So how I'm going to walk through these next couple that are coming is I want to walk through at the real basic level of what it really is. And some of you are going to be like, well, I see this quicker this way, and I get it. But I just want to see if I can try and tie everybody into being pretty quick on this, okay? All right, so let's see, can I squeeze all of them out? How many are there? 9? That's it? All right, we can squeeze them. All right, so problem number 1. Problem number 1 is the same thing as 2x plus 2 times 2 times 2. Is 8 the same thing as 2 times 2 times 2? Does that make sense? 2 times 2 is 4 times another 2 is 8. So what do I have the same between the two of these right now? If I look at this, I have a plus sign. I have a 2x and I have 2, 2, 2. What is the same between the two? I have a 2. So this, I'm going to factor out one of the 2's. So I'm going to have 2 parentheses. If I factor 2 out of 2x, what do I have left? X. The plus comes along for the ride. If I factor a 2 out of 2, 2, 2, what do I have left? 2 and 2, which is 4. So 2x plus 8 breaks down to 2 quantity, parentheses, x plus 4. Problem number 2. I have a 3 and an x minus 2 times 2 times 3. Two times 2 is 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, what do I have in common between the two of these? 3. If I factor a 3 out of 3x, what do I have left? X. The minus needs to come along for the ride. What do I have left if I factor 3 out of 2, 2, 3? 4, which is 2 and 2. You agree? X squared. How do I break down x squared? What is that? X times x. So I got x times x plus 5 times x. What does appear I have in common between the two of those? X. So if I factor an x out of xx, what do I have left? And if I factor an x out of 5, what do I have left? 5x, excuse me. 5, and the plus comes along for the ride.
Wait, what did you factor?
An x. Cool? Everyone still with me? Okay. Number 4, 3xy doesn't really break down, and 2y doesn't really break down. But what do I have in common between the two? A y. And if I factor a y out of 3xy, what do I have left? 3x. And if I factor a y out of 2y, what do I have left? 2. And the plus sign needs to come along for the right. Reese, can you break down 4x squared for me into most basic stuff? What does 4 break down to?
Wouldn't it be like 4 times x times x?
Okay, break 4 down even further.
Oh, 2 times 2.
2 times 2. So, this is 2 times 2 times x times x.
Can you just write 2x times 2x?
Yeah? And then, what else do I have left? What does 2x break down to? 2x. Duh. All right. So, what do I have in common between the two? X. What else? 2. So I can factor a 2x out of both. Okay. So if I factor a 2x out of both, what do I have left on this first one? I have a 2x. The minus needs to come along for the right. If I factor a 2x out of 2x, what do I have left? Not 0. What's a placeholder? 1. Now, let's go back and rethink about this. 2x times 2x is indeed 4x squared, and 2x times negative 1 is indeed negative 2x. Okay, so be careful on the 0. A lot of people say, oh, it's got to be 0. Well, 2x times 0 is 0, so that didn't factor out completely. Celine, now we have 3 things. Can you break 2x to the third down in its most basic form? So 2xxx, is that 2x to the third? What about, and it's going to be minus, what about 4x squared? Break that down to the most basic. Uh-huh. XX, I love it. And then what about 8x? What does that break down to its most basic form? Times x. 2 times 2 times 2 times x. Okay. Ashley, what number do I have in common between all 3 of those?
2.
2. Okay, so I'm just going to knock one of those out on each of those. What else do I have in common between those as far as letters?
X's.
Okay, how many x's can I factor out of all 3 terms?
6.
I have a single x here. I have 2. I have 1, 2, 3. How many can I factor out? What's the maximum I can factor out? So I factor out this x, that cancels. That cancels. That cancels. So if I factor 2x out of that, what do I have left here?
2 x's.
Which is x times x, which is x to the second. Good, you had it right. And then that minus comes along for the ride. I factored a 2x, what do I have left?
1x.
minus 2x, cool. And then I factor the 2x out of here. What do I have left here? 4. And there's a minus sign there. There it is. 2x, parentheses, x squared minus 2x minus 4. Now that's getting a little choppy and weird to look at, so I want to clear it off there, but I don't want to clear it until everyone feels pretty good about each of those. So any of those here? And again, I'm trying to go down to the prime components. So a prime number is the smallest component I could break a number down to. Like 2 is a prime number because I can't break it down any further. But like 6 breaks down to 2 times 3, or 4 breaks down to 2 times 2, or 8 breaks down to 2 times 2 times 2, or 12 breaks down to 2 times 2 times 3. So can I clear the first 6 of these? I just wanted to have more room. Is that okay? Still with me? All right. Guess we gotta go with the old school eraser. Circle. Yeah, it's must be broken. Must be out of eraser ink.
Maybe it doesn't work on Word.
Yeah, it might not work on Word. Woo, got it pretty. All right. We are now on number 7. George, you with me on this number 7? All right. So how would I break that 3x squared y squared down to its most basic parts? Does 3 break down anymore? Nope. What does x squared break down to? Xx, cool, x times x. What does y squared break down to? Y times y. The plus needs to come along for the ride. George, what does 6 break down to? Let's just, 6. What can I break it down to even further? 2 times 3, perfect. And what can I break x down to? That's just x. What about y squared? Y times y. So if I take a look up here, I have a 3 in common with both of those. I have an x, I have a y. So if I factor 3xy, if I factor 3xy, what do I have left right here, George, if I factor out a 3xy? And what else? xy, good. Plus again comes along for a ride. If I factored out a 3xy here, what do I have left? 2y, done. So 3xy times the quantity, parentheses x plus xy plus 2y. Oh, wait a minute. What else did I have in common? What do I still have in common inside? Y. I have a y. So if I factor out that y, what does 3xy become if I factor a y out? 3xy squared. Cool. What do I have left inside now? What do I have left here?
X plus 2.
X plus 2. Oh, okay. So sometimes we might factor it all the way down, and sometimes you might think you're factored down, and then you look at your answer, you're like, oh, time out. A little bit more. Okay. We're up to number 7. We good so far? Everybody happy? All right. Can I erase? Reese?
Yes.
Can I erase? Do whatever you want, man. Physically? All right. Now, I wanted to erase, not because I just ran out of room, but number 8 and number 9, they're kind of special. Because I'm not, x minus 2 will not break down. That's just a binomial. Okay? So right now I have 2 terms. I have x minus 2, and then I have 5x minus 2. Okay, so there's two terms right there. The x minus 2 is one term, and the 5, x minus 2 is a second term. Does that make sense? Megan, I can also factor out binomials. So what binomial does number 8 have in common between the two terms? Remember, binomial is two terms. Keep going. It's grouped, though. No. It's grouped. It's grouped in parentheses. What's in the parentheses on both? What's in parentheses on number 8? What's x minus 2? That's the whole binomial, okay? So being I have x minus 2 on this side and x minus 2 on this side, I'm going to factor an x minus 2 out, okay? Now, if I factor an x minus 2 out of this first part, what do I have left? X. If I factor out an x minus 2 on this second part, what do I have left? 5. And it's plus 5. So x minus 2, x plus 5 is the factored version of, because I have x minus 2 on both of those, comes along for the ride. Okay? And then I'm left with x plus 5, which is at the very end. Now, I could write this as x plus 5 and x minus 2. That's the same thing, because we learned a long time ago that if you multiply some number times another number, it's the same thing as multiplying them backwards. And that's the same idea up here. So very last one, and I have a trick here. Andrew, you ready? Went to the bathroom. He's not ready. Mac, you're up. All right, what do I have in common on number 9 between the two as a binomial?
X plus 3.
Good. So if I factor an x plus 3, out of the first one, what do I have left?
4 x squared.
Oh, you nailed it. Good. Now, you know what's bad about this one? Is you get done, and you think you're good, and you take it on the test or quiz, and I take 1 point off.
Oh, there's still x.
Oh,
There's still x times x on it. Wouldn't you also be eliminating
Anyone know the difference of two squares? What are the two squares that are up there?
X.
Yeah, this right here is the difference of two squares, right here. Okay, so x plus 3, x plus 3, x plus 2. Oh, whoa. Let me bring this up here. This is going to come up here. You don't understand it. Well, follow it. X plus 3, and then if I break this down, it breaks down to 2 plus x and 2 minus x. And that's the difference of two squares. Well, if I FOIL this out, 2 times 2 is 4. Middle terms, minus 2x plus 2x cancel out. Last term is minus x squared. So that's called the difference of two squares. So here's the answer to that one. That's got a little trick on that one. That's kind of mean and nasty. I don't like that too much because it's kind of throwing a curveball at you right now. Okay, so your assignment is only 1 page. It is worksheet number 3, which is page 5. Worksheet number 3, which is page 5. Okay? There's not a back to it. The back you can drop. No, we'll do that backside tomorrow. So let's don't worry about the backside on that. Cool? Everyone good? So, guys and girls, what we were first talking about, propaganda, is we all have to, in this time, kind of realize why information is being conveyed to us or to our families. Okay? And is propaganda good or bad? It's kind of like gossip sometimes. And sometimes gossip's fun to spread. But then gossip can also be hurtful by the person it's about, right? So sometimes propaganda can be harmful to the person it's about. And it's silly. Okay? So So what is my agenda for you guys? I have one agenda and one agenda only. Okay, 2 agendas then. Okay, 3 agendas.
Puppy,
Nothing wrong with kicking puppies.
kick you 5.
3rd agenda is I want you all to become people who have no problem when something is said to you going, I want to question that a little bit. Because that's okay. That's something to do. Deal?
Deal. Shake on it.
So guys and girls, there is another quiz on Schoology. It'll be due on Friday. This one is truly due. So get it done. Go to it. It's 3 questions again. Go through it. Do well. Make me proud. Love you guys. Oh, thanks.